Hey guys, sorry I've been gone all week. I got the flu and ended up sleeping like the entire week. I'm actually a few days behind on Inktober because of it, so I'm going to step down from doing the daily videos for now. I might give an occasional piece its own solo video if it's something I really like, but for the most part I'm combining several days into one video just to save time. It's lowering my workload a little bit. There's less searching for songs, less voiceovers, the same amount of video editing really, but it'll add up to less overall. I'm going to aim for posting 2 a week, but they'll be a few days behind what prompt it is for that day. The point of slowing down between the videos is just kind of having a chance to work on them at my own pace instead of having to get them all done right away. So I know I've talked about it on this channel before, and it's definitely hit me this week, but I am disabled. I don't think I've ever actually gotten into how bad my physical disabilities are, or how it affects my life and my artwork. It's kind of a hard topic to broach into, especially with complete strangers, but I'm trying to unlearn the shame I've been given. It doesn't really seem like something that's really relevant to my channel, but it is. My mental state, my physical state, it all affects my art. It changes how I interact with my pieces, it changes my creativity even. My disability is so interwoven with how I view the world, it's almost irresponsible to believe that my art is separate from it. I have 2 physical disabilities that are completely different from each other and have nothing to do with each other, but they kind of work together to screw me over. The ligaments in my knees, they're supposed to connect to the upper and lower sides of your kneecap to kind of like counterbalance it, but they're connected to the wrong spot, so it kind of like yanks the patella back and forth and grinds it against the cartilage in my knees. I've had knee surgeries before to try and fix it, but it didn't. I've got tears in the cartilage that can't be repaired, so things like walking makes my knees click and they have trouble not just randomly giving out, and it causes a lot of pain. The other big one is what's loosely referred to as a tethered spinal cord. It's when the spine is anchored into parts of your spinal column that it shouldn't be, and it stretches the nerves and pinches them and twists them in a way they shouldn't, and it causes a lot of issues like random spasms, muscle weakness, tingling pins and needles all the way down my legs. They're both genetic, so, thank my parents. They have found yet another way to ruin my life. What it basically adds up to, though, is that I'm constantly in pain. Like, there's not a single day that goes by that I'm not in pain. There's this pain scale that has, like, descriptions of what the scale actually means. I'll try to remember to link it, but I might not. It basically goes from like 0, where it's I have no pain, to a 10, which is I can't move because of my pain, take me to the emergency room. And it's really helpful, but if I'm using it truthfully, my daily pain level is between a 5, which is I think about pain most of the day, I can't do some activities because of the pain, to a 7, which is I'm in pain all of the time and I can't do most activities. And that's my baseline, like that's the best it gets for me. There are some days I can't even sit upright in my bed because sitting upright puts too much pressure onto my lower back and makes me cry. Add to that my mental illnesses and my PTSD, and things get pretty difficult to deal with on occasion. You can probably actually track it through my personal work with the themes you see in it, or how long it takes me to get the pieces done, even. The last The last piece in this video is actually a day where my head was killing me because my back had been spasming so badly it gave me a tension migraine. And you can literally see it in the piece. It's turned into something where I've realized that every piece I create, everything I write, everything I draw is just inherently infused with my disabilities and my pain. And I'm not really sure what I would be creating if it wasn't for my pain. My spouses are pretty great with helping me. Walking isn't something I can really do easily. There are days where I can't even get to the kitchen to make myself a meal. There are other days where I'm able to ignore the pain, or it's in spots of my body where I can just stand and cook for the entire family for the entire day. But when I do that, it ends up putting me in bed rest for days on end afterwards. I've described it to people before as taking out a loan. My ability to move is a loan. Every step I take adds to my debt, and I pay it off with pain. And when the balance is really already pretty high, there's only so much I can add to it in a day. I can't work a normal job. I can't even do an office job because traveling to an office, sitting upright for hours, it puts way too much pressure on my back and on my hips, and my legs will just stop working. I have a wheelchair for when that happens, but the majority of places in this area don't have wheelchair accessibility. So they just won't hire me. They won't tell me that's why they're not hiring me, but it's pretty obvious. I have been trying to get disability payments, but I still haven't been able to get them. There's different reasons every single time I apply. They've denied me because my wife makes too much money every month. So according to them, I don't need help, despite the fact that 90% of her income goes to bills, and we can barely afford groceries. And the latest one I can't even apply because I don't have a recent history of my disabilities, because I haven't been able to afford to go to a doctor because I don't have disability payments to pay for it. And I've had these disabilities since I was a child. This isn't anything new to me. The first time my knee dislocated and locked in place, I was 8 and walking home from school, bent down to tie my shoelaces and couldn't move. So there's a history. I've had 3 surgeries trying to fix this and it still hasn't. So it does make art a pretty great escape though, because it's difficult, but it really helps me express myself. Sitting upright in order to film videos is really painful. I can't go more than sometimes even 20 minutes, and a lot of the cuts you see in my videos is me stopping to go lay down and let my back and my shoulders rest. I got a gamer chair. I'm better at art because I have a better gamer chair. It does help having the cushions for my lower back and having the sciatica support. I've got an extra cushion in it just to help with that. Even with the regular pain, or the regular breaks though, it does leave me in pain. And I think the pain sometimes shows in my final results. You can tell where I started rushing because I wanted to get a part done, or I started having a back spasm or something in the middle of a watercolor wash, which is the worst because you can't stop or else you ruin the piece with an edge. I do tend to draw from my pain with the themes I choose, like people being scared or people being hurt and having blood in everything. It's a lot of visual representation for the pain I have because my pain is pretty invisible. You can't look at me and see that I'm disabled. I mean, you can look at me and tell that I'm fat, but you can't tell that it's because I can't walk. Unless I'm sitting in my wheelchair, and even then I've had people tell me that I'm faking it. I've had one woman in a grocery store grab my wheelchair and try to take it from me, thinking that it was a store wheelchair and that I was just playing around. I've been trying to keep the process for making these Inktober videos down to less than an hour a piece, just to kind of minimize how much it's hurting me. it's still hurting me, and I'm a few days behind because of that. Keeping a time limit on them, keeping them small, it's definitely helped a lot. I'm looking forward to the end of October when I can go down to just one piece a week instead, because this kind of sucks. You'll see a lot of activism that kind of gets co-opted for physical disabilities when they're really not meant to be physically disabled slogans, like "I'm not my disability" or "my disability doesn't define me." But I mean, I can't walk because of my disability. The pain of my disability affects every action I take every day. It kind of does define me, and it defines the way I look at things and my ability to relate to things. It's changed my entire perception from what can I achieve to how much pain is it going to cost me, and is it worth it to achieve it. I've decided my art is worth it, though. Really hard unlearning a lot of things that people have told me over the years. Like, being disabled doesn't make me lazy. I've been called lazy many times because I refuse to get out of bed when I'm in too much pain. Not accepting that anymore. Doesn't mean I'm not working as hard as other people, not taking care of my body or my pain levels. But I'm not skinny, I'm not going to the gym. Doesn't mean that I'm not taking care of myself. I eat healthy. Eat lots of vegetables. I've tried to just take care of myself and accept that what's healthy for me doesn't look what everybody tells us it should look like. As a whole, I'm just gonna kind of do what I have to in order to try and take care of myself and get October done. Depending on my pain levels, I might end up lapsing into November by a few days. We'll see. I'm trying to catch up when I can, but there's only so much sitting I can do in a day. I'm thinking I'm going to make a zine of this, my first ever zine. I'm talking with a few different companies for quotes, trying to figure out the logistics of it, how I want to do it. I'm not comfortable using Kickstarter right now because the CEO is an absolute douche canoe. His comments about unionization and everything have left me not really willing to support the company anymore. But that kind of leaves me in a position where I don't have a way of funding a zine. So I'm thinking I might do pre-orders once I figure out what the actual cost is going to be. And I'll try and keep it down below $30. I do want to make it kind of accessible, so I'm definitely going to be doing a digital zine, whether I do a print one or not, so that people can buy it for like $2 or $3. I'm gonna let you guys go now. So if you liked the video or you just feel sorry for me, please like, comment, subscribe. I don't know if I've got a little bell beside my subscription, but if you guys want to hit it, you're welcome to. I hope life is gentle with you this week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.